Hi everyone, it's Marcie Besecker. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and welcome to my Tuesday live broadcast on YouTube. Let's just hope that it is going to go smooth and we don't have hiccups like we did last time. So welcome. Let me know if you are here. I am going to try and get to my comments here. It seems like it always wants to sign me on as a viewer, and I don't see my comments, but I do now. So, if you're here, say hi. Let me know you can hear me and everything is working good, and we will get started. I have a really fun project today for you. I always end up with a lot of extra designer series paper. I love it. I buy a lot of it, I hoard it, and I don't want to use it. I have been loving chopping it, which is why I have these cases over here, and that's what I have that in. Hi Felicia. And so, but I still keep 12 by 12s like I have right over there because I want to use it for larger projects. But I have on that side of the room on the shelving, I have a lot of old designer series paper that I would like to use up for special items. Oh, Carol, welcome. Hi, Susan. So what I wanted to do is kind of create something that you can use your old designer series paper. So when I have customers come pick up orders or my downline, I have bags sometimes that are way too big if they're just picking up a couple stamp sets or some embellishments or something. And so I decided that I wanted to create a few things that work out to be handy and have on hand, but also use up some old designer series paper. Hi, Stephanie. So welcome everybody. So I'm super excited about this. I'm going to be using the Field and Flowers DSP paper. And this is a little image Stampin' Up has out of the catalog. Hello, Jennifer. How are you? And this paper is really pretty to do some fussy cutting and creating some really fun images. I used up some old paper. Felicia, you and me both. So this is what we're going to create. I did a larger bag here, and I have some tips and tricks about it, and it is so simple. And then I did a smaller bag here, okay, and I'm going to show you a little bit on how they fold up. So I did take some older paper here, and you'll see I folded them up, so I'll show you how I fold them. And then I'm just putting a bunch inside another bag. So I did all of these with that paper. Now the thing to think about, these two were not an issue, but these two, silly me, scored them the wrong way. I would have scored on the bottom side. You got to think about the image here and the image here and how it's going to work with your cuff being right side up. This one's not so bad. This one has upside pineapples. So some papers are not going to work quite as well. So you want to pay attention to that. Although I don't think people are going to mind. I did not put my straps on these yet because I'm just going to store them like this. So I want to get busy and kind of show you a couple other things. I'll show you on some do's and don'ts, and some different ideas on how to put your string on. Again, the PDF will be in my blog post, so you'll have a printable PDF, so don't worry about that. I am going to pull in my paper from, this is the free paper with Celebration, the Flower and Field Designer Series paper, and we are going to use this paper here for the larger. So you need two 12 by 12s. Okay, I tried to lift my camera up, so I'm hoping you guys are going to get this in view okay. I'm going to kind of move my stuff out of the way so we can see everything in view. All right, I'm going to bring my scoreboard in. If you do not have a scoreboard, I highly recommend it. Before I got a scoreboard, I did use my trimmer. It does have a score on it, but having a scoreboard is so nice and so convenient that it's just kind of a must-have. All right, so what you want to do is you want to make sure your papers are going the same way. So if you look, the Stampin' Up! Is so good about having their papers. See how the flowers are all aligned up? So if you look right here, they're all aligned. I'm going to make this my top, so I'm going to turn it this way for no rhyme or reason. This paper, you don't have to worry about it so much because it's got the greenery on the back and it's going every which way. But you want them to align up. So we're going to go this way. So for your first score, we're going to go 2 inches on the larger one. Okay, so 2 inches. And so this will be the top flap of our bag. Okay. So you can decide at this point which side you want to be the outside. If you wanted this to be the outside and this to be your flap, you definitely can do that too. But I really like this one. And of course, it depends. Some people like folding in valleys and some mountains, so it really doesn't matter. So we're doing 2 inches here, and now we're going to do 3 the rest of the way. So the next 3 turns is 3 inches. Okay, super simple. All right, so I have my 2 inches over here, and now I'm going to bring this one in. I laid it down this way, knowing this would be my first, which will be 2 inches. 3, 3, and 3. All right, so again, there's my 2 inches. So now that's all we need here. We're going to move the board. I can't even tell you how easy this is. I came across a couple of patterns I've had for a long time and just kind of combined them on one PDF for you. So it'll be a little easier to have both bags right there for you. The first thing you want to do is fold down your 2-inch sides and score them. Hi Carla, welcome. All right, and then what I did is I brought out my old, let's see, what did I do with it? My old snail, because this right here, you just want to add some adhesive. It's no big deal. All it's going to do is just kind of help hold down your flap so it's not holding your bag down or anything or together. It's just going to hold your flap down. So I'm going to do that on both sides. Here's my 2-inch again. This bag was so fast and simple I had to put both together. That's kind of what my plan was. Oops. Because they're so simple. Alright, so again, just use some of your old snail. We don't want to get rid of it, we want to use it. So this is a perfect way. Except I have a little thread of piece of paper here. Look at, probably stuck to my adhesive. Alright, so we're going to lay that down. Hi Carol, welcome. Okay, so now you're going to take one of your pieces. I like to use my larger scissors, and you're going to cut your corners off. Okay, so cut, if you can see, well, I don't know if you can see on this side, let me see. So just these corners right here, so remember you scored 3 inches here and 3 inches here. You're going to cut the corners off on each side. Hi Jacqueline, welcome. And I like to do it before I score, just because it's easier to see. It's easier to cut a straight line. So however you want, you can use your trimmer to cut these off. All right, so there's the one. And just quickly, you're going to have these little pieces, and I'll show you what you could do with this, if I can find what I did with it. Oh, maybe I can't find it. Well, what I did is I took this our new double oval punch, and I created a little label. I might have put it on something else. Oh, here it is. Nope, that's not it either. Well, oh, here it is. So what I did is I just created this little label from the paper and used the other side so you can add that onto something. So these are great little pieces to keep for stuff like that. So don't throw those away. All right, so we have one side done. Hi, Kristen. Hi, Tashana. Okay, so now the next side you have your two. I'm gonna go ahead and cut up from the bottom. So remember when you're making something, sometimes you wonder, like, which side do I cut these tabs? This way or this way? Well, you want to make sure you're going to have the support on the bottom. And if you cut them this way, you're going to have the support on the side. So if you cut them this way, your bottom's going to go like this, and then your flap is going to go up, but it's not going to give you that extra support on the bottom. So you always want to make sure that your flap is going to end up on the bottom and give you that extra support. So that's how you decide which way you want to cut. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold that one back. I'm not going to score it. I just want to fold it back. And I'm just going to wedge my sides just a little bit. Just so when you fold them, they kind of don't poke out. So just a little bit. Alright, so there's your wedges. I mean, this is how little. You just need a little to get off, just so those don't poke out the sides. Hi, Gail, welcome. Okay, now it's time to score everything. Now, there is something that I do on the second bag that I'll show you that I think you could do on this bag, but I'm going to show you on this one not doing it, and then I'm going to show you on the other one doing it. And then that way you can kind of decide. So on this bag, you are also going to want an enforcement on the bottom. I've already cut one for this bag, which is going to be 2 7/8 by 5 7/8. And it's just going to give you that extra support on the bottom. This is the first one, Tashana. All right, so let's score this. And the PDF will be on my blog. My blog post is pretty much done. I just have to add my video link and that kind of thing. So as soon as this video is over, I'll get that posted. And then I'm going to be recording another video for next week when I'm gone. So you guys have some fun things. You guys probably noticed when you got, if you are subscribed to my blog, that when you got it, it had some extra content. Because last week I changed up my blog so you don't get so many posts at one time or every day when I'm blogging. So make sure you scroll down. You'll see like the last 3 blog posts or however many there was. Okay, so at this point I use the seal. Hi, Carol. And I just do 3 little strips here, just all the way down. I'm going to fold this up and just add it on here just to give it some more stability at the bottom of the bag. And now what I do is I put the smaller one on the left and the larger one on the right. That's just how I like to do it. I don't know if it really matters, but to me it's just easier. Now I'm going to take liquid glue because I think it's really strong. And I'm going to go ahead and put it on my bag. You don't want a super chunky bit on there. I like a lot on there, but I like to make it thin lines so it doesn't ooze all over the place, because we're still going to be working with this piece. Of course, I'm using a almost empty bottle as always. I think what happens is I start working with it and I'm crafting along, and then I think, oh, it's going to last a little longer, and then it always goes on my video is where it starts to go. Okay, so I align it right next to each other, making sure that the top is going to be aligned. So go ahead and fold it over and match it up as much as you can. put it on there, and then I like to fold it and then lift it up. Oh, Jennifer, I'm glad. I really like it a lot. It gives you some wiggle room, but then boy does it hold. Okay, so now I'm good with that. So my side is nice and crisp. And now I'm going to do the same thing with here on this side. And now I like to lay it flat. Again, don't do a whole bunch. You could just barely squeeze it. It will come out. Like I said, you guys know this glue holds really well. Alright, so hold that down. And then fold this over. You see how I'm putting my finger here kind of in the middle? You want it to hold pretty flat. And then lay your piece on. Make sure it aligns okay. Everything lays flat. I just got glue right there. Another really good thing about this glue is using your gummy eraser here. And be careful because this is DSP. You don't want to take off your pattern, but it will take off the glue. All right, so there we go. So there's our bag. Now I'm going to turn it over. I fold this part in first, and then I'm going to add a little bit of glue. You don't need a lot because it's just going to be in between the flaps, but I just want to hold it down. And I think that just adds just a little more. Okay, so you could turn it over and push the bottom up against it. Carol, I do too, and I really think this is a fantastic way to use your paper. You don't have it left over, because you know, if you guys are like me, you feel guilty, you've got all this paper left over. Now that was sticking out a little bit. I think I did it a little crooked. You have all this paper left over and you're like, why do I have so much paper? And you really don't need that much paper. All right, and then again, light strands, and I try to put like a light bead across the edge, not too close because it'll squish out just enough. And now I have all these gift bags ready to go. Hi, Joanna. So I have all these gift bags ready to go, and I'm using up DSP. And if it's old, that's okay. It shows your customers, your clients, your downline, whoever you're working with that knows it's old, how to use up their paper. And it's a gift bag. I mean, who doesn't need that? All right. Now I'm going to show you a couple tricks about putting your string on. So that is how I did my gift bag. It's all done. Now I'm going to show you two things. One, how to fold it up. And then number two, how to put your string on it. So one of the things you want to notice is this is the front right here, because this is where you've attached. Okay, you've attached on the back. So this is the front. So if I were to be doing a label, I would want to put it here, not like I did on the smaller bag, which we're going to do next, but you'll notice my label is here, and you can kind of see the white edge a little, that it should have been on this side for the front. So keep that in mind. And we're going to do this bag in just a minute. All right. So here's our bag. It's all done. And now how to do your ribbon. So I have an old Stampin' Up! Punch. I have a crocodile too. You want to be careful to use not the tiny one. I don't even know what size this is, but it's small, but not super small. But you want it fairly small, and let me explain what happened. So I did this bag, and I had to like double tie these little knots because it was just coming right through the bag. And this one I made small, and it was still coming through the bag. And I think that's what this one is, but I'm using a bigger ribbon today. So kind of keep that in mind. Now this bag, of course, I loved it. It's my newer paper, and I used even a bigger hole, which was my bad. I used the size up from this. And so what I did is I tied it in a knot on the inside. So that's going to be, it's still going to work perfectly fine if that's the hole punch you have. No, Carol, they don't have punches anymore. These are, oh gosh, I don't know, 2012 maybe, I think is when I got it. But whatever hole punch you have, you can always tie your ribbon here if it's a ribbon that you want to use for the bag. So there's some really cute ribbons, and this is a great way to use up your ribbon too. Okay, so now for how to do that is, my first thing to show you is I want to show you how to fold it in. So you're just going to fold it like this, and you're just going to kind of work yourself down and work yourself. Keep going until you're down towards the bottom and it's nice and neat still. You want to make sure everything still looks really nice and neat. And then I'm going to look at it. This is the back side over here, okay? So now I'm going to fold it down that way. Okay, so now my bag is nice and flat for storage, but you do not want to hole punch it like this because you've got this to worry about here. Okay, so open your bag back up. Now the other thing you could do, which we'll do on the next bag, is you could do a light score down the middle, a partial score to about there. And we will do that on the next bag, so I'll show you that. So now you're going to take your bag, this is the front, and pull these open, okay? And then close it like that. So think about where your think about where your marks are here. Open that up. Oh, my computer just kind of, okay. Open that up and kind of get an idea where your holes are going to be. You kind of want them towards the middle anyway. You don't want to put a big bunch of ribbon on there. So I just eyeballed it. What I do is on mine, I look at this center. There's like a oval hole right there that shows, and then the metal starts right there. I just go to where the top of that hole is. So just kind of gauge whatever kind of a holder you have. Just kind of give it a good gauge on how far down you want to go. And keep your bag even. And then hole punch it. Okay, so same thing. And I'm using a bigger ribbon but the smaller hole punch, so we'll see how that goes. And so you're going to go down. Okay, so that's all I did. So now, yes, an eyelet would be perfect. If you have that with your crocodile to do that, that would be great. Oh no, Felicia, I hope I'm not having those issues again. All right, so now we're going to take some ribbon and just kind of get an idea of how much you want. I know I have another one of these open somewhere, I just don't know where. So, all right. Is everybody else having any issues with buffering? I hope not. Oh yeah, Gail, I'm loving it. It is really the way to go because it is a perfect way. So Stephanie, you mentioned wanting to cut down your DSP, but I think this is the way to go. You'll have, unless it's your new one that you want to love it, chop it. But your old DSP would be a perfect way to make some gift bags and have available. Oh yeah, I have a crocodile. That works great too. Okay, here we go. So what I'm going to do is just kind of get an idea. I let this go down a ways and then let this go to about right there. And so I'm going to cut it right about here. Oh no. I did see a poor lady last night I was watching and she was talking about how she was buffering. I think she did a video yesterday morning, so I'm guessing that they've been having some issues. So I just cut two pieces about the same. And you're going to stick it through here. And of course I'm using bigger ribbon. Oh good. I hope it stays that way, Carol. Alright, so there's one. And then I'm going to come across. And make sure you want to do it on the same side of the bag, because you don't want to have to put your gift or your items in between the handles. So think about that. All right, I'm bringing it all the way through so it's easier for me to do my little knot. All right, so do your knot. And so there is one side, and you can fix it. Well, that one worked out fine. All right, so I hope it does. I was telling my husband the other day about how crazy that whole day was with that video technology issue. And like I said, I saw a couple other people mention it, and I was like, oof, glad it wasn't just me. I was trying everything. All right, so there's another one. So this is a good way. Find some old ribbon that you have. And this is a great way to use it up. I know you guys are crafters. You have ribbon and paper. I always have ribbon and paper. And then even your embellishments. Add your embellishments. Tie them onto your ribbon here or whatever. All right, so there is our first bag, and you'll have tissue, and you can, have your bag ready to go. Your handles are really close to the same. I can feel one has a little more tension than the other, but just kind of think about that when you're tying them. You could come in and trim these off. Okay, they're already tight down here. Super simple. This one is this has been a go-to for a long time, but sometimes you forget. I have a board that's like a bag board, or I don't even know when the last time was I used it, because these are just so simple to do. Now I threw this together really quickly ahead of time, but look how cute that is. Create yourself a card. I used the DSP and the daisy punch. This had the little daisies. I love daisies. Again, I used the double oval. I just took another scrap of my paper, and now I have a little card and a little gift set here for somebody, or a customer picking something up, or a birthday present, or whatever. So there is that bag. So again, remember, think about what size hole you have and what size of ribbon you're using. And again, this one, I just tied it, which I honestly don't mind it at all, because it's super simple. If you thread it through, you do one knot and it's done. And so here's another bag. So thank you, Bree, Jennifer, Serene, welcome. Okay, so, and then, like I said, just stuff them in there like I did with this. I haven't done my ribbons on this, but I think I have that roped, braided stuff that we had with this that I think I'm going to use as handles. So that's kind of the larger ones. All right, so now let's pull out a smaller size, and so I'm going to pick a paper. I'm going to do this one. No, let's do this one. This is pretty. And I have some ribbon somewhere by here that we can use. All right, so this is the second bag we're going to use. And this one you are going to cut at 12 by 8. Okay, this one's really easy too. The same idea. So when you guys see my directions on my blog, it's going to say make sure you watch the video, because once you watch the video, you'll get the whole idea on how to do this. So 12 by 8. I'm going to put this out. All right, 12 by 8. So here's 8. All right, save this, of course. All right. Now it says on the short side, which this is the short side, you're going to score at 2, and this is going to be the bottom of your bag. Okay, so This is going to be the piece that folds in. So what I want to do is, if this was a direction, I would want to make sure I knew I want my bag like this. If this was facing this way and I would want this to be the bottom, you're going to make sure that you score over here. Okay, this one, it doesn't really matter, but we are going to go at 2 inches. On your scoreboard, I recommend that you use the larger side on DSP because it's more fragile than cardstock. So I like to use that, and you really don't have to push very hard. So remember that. Okay, so that's going to be the bottom. And now on the long side, we are going to score at 2, at 5 3/4, 7 3/4, and 11 1/2. Now this pattern, I believe it's been years since I've seen it, but or that I used it, but I think I got it from Poodles. So I think this one here I got from her. The other one I've had so long I don't know. Let's see. And then you're going to partial score. So remember when I told you that you could partial score this right here? That's what this is talking about. So we're going to partial score at 1 inch. So I'm just going to go down. You can see this is your score line right here. And I just went right before that. You don't have to go all the way down. And then 6 3/4. All right, so again, I just leave like a 1/2 inch or so at the bottom. It's no rhyme or reason. It just helps you with the folding. All right, then I cut a piece, and I'm going to grab a piece of paper. Probably, I'm just eyeballing this and going to say that it's Flirty Flamingo. I don't know. But that's what you're not going to see it anyway. Actually, you know what? Because you're not going to see it, I'm going to grab a piece of black. That way it's hidden anyway. So we want a piece of black. Oh, Tashana, yes, thanks. I do too. And I have a project that I'm going to be making probably the day not the day I return, but I'm returning on a Sunday, and I'll be making it on that Tuesday. And it's a 3D, and it's super exciting. Okay, so the inside panel for the bottom is going to be 3 1/2. So we are going to do 3 1/2. Oh, you know what? I always like to do my shorter one first. So let's do 1 7/8. That way it keeps my paper that I'm not using a little bigger, and I can use that for something else. And by 3 1/2. It is, Tashana. Like I said, it's such a great way to show off for people that are picking up your items or whatever. Okay, so this, we are going to cut your flaps, I call them. So cut your flaps. So it's the smaller 2 squares. And of course I like to wedge them is what I call it. So, and I prefer to do this before I score, just so the paper's straight and I can see it a little bit better. And it just helps me, I just like it better to do that. But if you like to score first, do that. And I just wedge a little off, and it really doesn't matter, you're not going to see it, but you don't need too much off. All right, now we're going to score, and again, you remember it is DSP, so be careful. We have a little edge here, and you know, I'm going to cut this edge off because I've kept it on before, and I ended up not really liking it because it's going to adhere to your flap, and then you're going to feel like you need to trim it and wedge it again. So go ahead and cut this little piece off. It's not earth-shattering, and I don't think that's in my directions, but it doesn't matter. I prefer, I think, to take it off. All right, so now just scoring it. You do not need to score where you did that partial score right here. So don't worry about that. Again, you're doing it lightly. All right, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this down and we're going to fold it and adhere that. And I'm going to use glue again. You could use tear and tape or Seal Plus, but I really like using glue a lot of times with my 3D projects. All right, so we're just going to fold this over. So see, when you turn it over, it folds nicely there. And then I just like to make sure I fold both ways. Everything closes and folds fine. Now this is the way right here I would leave your bag if you're just going to do a bunch of them and store them. So if you were going to make a bunch and just store them away and then just pull them out as you need them, they're quick and easy. Again, we're going to add our bottom. We're going to adhere that right to the bottom. I would put your glue on here because this is a little bit bigger and you don't want it to be squirting out the sides. And remember, you don't need a whole lot because this is just, it's going to attach. It's not going anywhere. And it doesn't have to be all the way to the corners or anything. All right, so there is your bottom flap. Now we're going to score these, which I didn't do. I'm just going to fold them. I need to make sure I'm on camera. Sorry. My camera's moved, so now I got to remember it's a little different because I lifted it up because I'm doing 3D. I want to make sure you can see everything. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this one down. Same thing. I'm going to glue my side panels just enough. And we're going to, and you can do either one, except I didn't want the black to show on the bottom. I wanted the polka dots. So we're just going to close that up. All right. And then I like to do this one fairly quickly after, just so we make sure everything is square and everything's just how you want it. All right. Okay, everything is square. Just check your sides. And what I like to do is just put I put my fingers like this, just so I can kind of make sure everything is there and secure. Again, your lines are on this back side. So when you, oh, they're right here. See, I can hardly see it. Your line is right here, so that is your back side. Which is funny because I did it the wrong way. Okay, see how this is the back? You can barely tell. But this is the back where the seam is. And because this was one piece, there's only one seam. Well, I put the enforced piece on the front piece instead of the back piece. So does that make sense? I put it on the front piece, so it went in first. And now this comes over, so this bottom is really the front, but you know what I mean. Make it look where it goes straight down, like this should have been the front here, except now I have this seam. So keep that in mind. That was my bad. I put the enforced part on the wrong part, so I'm teaching you what not to do, and then I do it. All right, so then again, you've got your creases right here. You did your scores, and this does make it much, much easier. Okay, so now you have your bag again. This is the front. I'm just going to go ahead and do, I'm going to do this side, I'm going to do this side the front. I guess it doesn't matter now because I messed up. Again, go all the way down. Just make sure all your little corners are pushed in as you're going down. And then just lay it down. Now you could store it like this also. It just depends on if you want them folded or not. And you could do this. It's easier to just pull the one out. But same thing, when we do the top, we're going to open it up. Now you don't need ribbon for this one. You're going to pull your sides out, and you're going to look at the lines and align your front line and your back line up. All right, and just kind of go down a little ways. And then take an oval punch. This one is 2 by 1 3/8. So you can choose whatever one you want. You do not want to use the dual punch because I'll show you what happens. So I just make sure I have the same amount of on each side, about, and then I make sure that I have a little bit of space going down before your oval, and then punch it. Again, you could use these. That's what I used. You could use those for your little sentiment. And now here's your bag, and you have your little handle. So that is what you want to do, and then you can make yourself a little tag, which is what I did on this one. Again, see how I told you I did this on this one, where this was the smooth side and the smooth. It was back here. I just put the tag on the wrong thing, but I don't want to try and rip it. So, but be careful. I tried to use this because I thought that the oval would be really cute, this one, and it's new. But this is what happens. So don't do that. So I like to do it ahead of time so I can show you what not to do. So don't do that, because now you have this, and it's super thin right here, so that's going to break. Now I'm going to try and put a strip around it and make it like a border type thing, kind of like, you know, like I could take paper, not this paper, but, you know, and make it up to here and make it kind of it's got some kind of a trim. It'll work. I just have to play with it. But anyway, then all you do is decorate them up. So like I said, I like the idea of these you can just fold down. I like the idea of these. You can just stick them in your bag and use your old DSP and have all of your projects. Like I said, be careful of your upside down pineapples or whatever you are working with. Take a look. Like these had to be upside down because I had the palm trees. Now if I were to turn it the other way around, you could make it to where the whatever's flipped is right side up, but be careful, this one might not be right side up. So just kind of gauge your paper and look. But these are really nice, good size bags. And let me see, where is a stamp set? So here's a stamp set. So if somebody were picking up an order and they had a stamp set in there, there's plenty of space. You could do a matching card. And there you go. And then here is our little one. So that is the fun project I had today to show you guys, so you can save lots of your paper. And, you know, don't cut it up. Use it for your bags. Everybody needs a bag for something, and I think Stampin' Up! Has some of the most amazing designer series paper, and creating bags is such a good way to make these things work. Also, think about 3D projects of any kind. All of our dies, the little boxes, the little bags, you know, anything that we have is perfect. It doesn't have to be current. I try to do current when I give it to a customer, but for my downline and sometimes even for customers, just to show them, use up your old stuff just like this. And a lot of times they're looking at the pattern, not so much the paper. So think about that. Thank you, everybody. Serene, I agree. This paper is gorgeous. And I really like the flowers and fields because it's a really, a lot of pattern. And so when I did this card, to be honest, I was like, okay, how am I going to, this is a busy pattern on both sides. And then I decided, well, I pulled out the daisy and decided to do that. And then I cut out 3 of the little daisies on the strips of paper I had left over from cutting this up, and added one to the sentiment. And then I added a strip on the inside. And now this is just a cute little set to go together. And, whoop, camera. And then it can go together, and now it's a cute little set. Because a lot of times I'm like, all I have is baby gift bags or Christmas gift bags. And so it's really nice to come up with a different type of gift bag. And I always tell my husband, oh, we need to get a gift for somebody, but it's got to fit in this bag because this is all I have. Well, now I can make more. All right, you guys, I think that is about it. I'm so glad that this didn't jump around. Don't forget that we have this cute Hey Chick pre-order going on right now. And they're available February 1st to order. And then there's this is the old chick set that we used to have. And now we have the new set in the catalog, which I'm trying to find for you right now. And that is not going to be with dies in the catalog, but it is coming with dies. So I'm flipping pages looking for it for you right now. And while I am, don't forget we have this awesome special for people that are interested in joining. If you want to get a discount, let me know if I can help you. I would love to have you on my team, and why not get a discount? You do not have to do videos or parties or sales or anything like that. There is the quota for the quarter. It is easier to get than you think. It's only $99 to join. You get $125 in product. Plus you get 200 sheets of that paper. It's totally worth trying. If you are unable to meet your quota, then you just stay a customer. There's no downside. So it's a lot of fun, and you'll meet a great community of people on our Facebook pages, where we have tons of inspiration and questions and everything. And I cannot find the chickens that I'm trying to find to show you. But the cute little chickens in here, I wanted to show you. Oh, here we are, page 52. Hey Birthday Chicks is what it's called. It's on page 52. So these guys right here, let me just show you this way because it'll be easier. So these guys right here are going to be available with dies also. So those are pre-order right now too. So don't miss out on these. I don't know how long the dies are going to be available. I don't know if it's going to be a long-term thing. I will find that out for you so I can let you know. I have been so busy getting ready for retreat this week. I'm leaving on, what day am I? Is today Tuesday? Today's Tuesday. I am leaving next Tuesday. So I will be here on Sunday with a video, but then Tuesday I'm leaving, and I'm so excited. We're going to be on 8-foot tables. We're all staying away. We probably won't have group pictures or anything like that unless they take one from afar of us, which I'm going to try and do. But anyway, so I've been doing treat things, and one of my treat things I can't wait to show you guys. And I think that's going to be my video to do when I get back. So I will do that on the Tuesday when I return. I know I did not get it, Tashana. I wasn't doing Stampin' Up at the time, but I love those little chicks. I thought I did have them, but I can't find them. So I'm not sure. Good night, Carol. Thanks for staying up and watching. I appreciate it. So that's about it for my announcements. Again, really quickly, the basic white paper product. Remember, Whisper White is no longer. The manufacturer closed down. And so we have the basic white. I don't have it in my hands yet. My order will be here tomorrow. So I will let you know my thoughts on it. I heard it's great and just as fabulous as Whisper White. So I will let you know my thoughts on that when I get it. As far as my room, my counter, I'll have to take a picture. I had the 9-drawer IKEA, you know, with the little groove in the front. I have 2 9 drawers over here. Well, I separated them, took off the top 4 drawers, whacked it down, and put a countertop on it. So I have that over here. And this Saturday, I am getting candle lights in my room. So thank goodness. And hopefully I won't have these shadows and stuff anymore. So I will have that on Sunday's video, I hope. I hope they don't tear my room up and I'll be sitting in, I don't know where I'll be trying to do my video, but I will be here on Sunday. All right, everybody, if you don't have any questions, I'm going to let you go because I'm going to be filming something else right now so that I can post it and have it out there for you on YouTube and my blog while I am gone crafting with 20 other ladies. All right, everybody, stay safe. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you very soon. Bye.